23. I realized almost right away that drinking raw blood, ICF, and corpse urine was a bad idea. Long term, anyway. I needed to get rid of the impurities. Creating a still was not easy. I was almost out of water bottles, and I'd only teleported in with a potion flask a few times. The ones I'd found were already broken. Far easier was building a fire. Even without magic, it was simple. Creating a spark between two flint rocks, lighting sticks. I kept it fed with certain other waste products, technically all my own, if previous clones were counted as being you. I could never allow it to go out. Worst came to worst, I could burn bones. My first attempt at distilling water didn't quite work out. I almost swamped the fire. The second try wasn't much better. But the third time seemed to be the charm. I checked every seal, every container, and slowly I added the liquid. It took a long time. Don't ask me to explain, but that old saying, a watched pot never boils, works with stills too. Every drop that came out seemed to take an hour, though I suppose the mixture had a higher boiling point than regular water, and it probably didn't help that I was boiling it multiple times to make it more pure. Finally, though, there was enough. I took the bottle off the end and corked the tube. It was almost clear. I took the liquid into my mouth and swished it around, feeling every drop seep into my parched flesh. Finally, I swallowed and sighed. Only enough for one mouthful. I reset the still. Maybe in 4 hours I could have another sip. Do insane ponies know they're insane? I pondered this every night. I lay down in permanent darkness and stared up, wondering if I was crazy or not. I spent my days watching water drip out of my still, drawing mandalas of death and blood ink, or daydreaming about Ponyville. I wonder if Starlight ever even learned to appreciate heartwarming, if my eventual death would have any point, or was I cast aside as another meaningless sacrifice? Every night I fell asleep with these thoughts. My only consolation was that my body was no longer being tortured as much as my mind. I was no longer thirsty. I was no longer hungry. Call me a cannibal. Call me whatever you like. I've chastised myself as worse. That first bite of pony flesh was the worst, mostly because I didn't think to cook it. It was like gelatin made of blood and coffee grounds, only somehow worse. I quickly remembered that griffins and dragons tended to place their meat over fires before eating it. I tried that with a small piece of flesh and found that it worked. I was only able to choke it down. That was weeks ago. Since then, I'd discovered the optimal way of cooking pony meat for consumption. It required precise timing, flipping the chunks so that no side burned. Burning flesh smelled horrible and tasted worse than the last time Pinky shoved her hoof in my mouth. Well, the last time I remembered. She may have done it again, to the other me. Different parts of the pony tasted different. Easily the worst tasting parts were the internal organs. I tended to hang those around to drain and dry, and they could serve as fuel for fire. I found that strips from the thighs and chest were thicker and drier. Chunks from my breasts were juicier and somehow tasted better. I tried not to think about that too much. It seemed weird. Then again, I was eating meat. It was all weird.